in your life there is no exit. I know that feeling. And I know that you did your best. You did everything possible to make it happen. And after all of that, nothing works. Trust me, I know that feeling. When you rely on somebody and suddenly you're left alone in the darkness. Yes, life is dark. Yes, life is negative. But the truth is that after darkness and night, there is a time to the sunlight. Yes, I know that feeling when you think that there is no exit. The key for that exit is not in the outside. The key for your exit is in the inside. We have been given the dignity of choice. Wherever we are today, it's the consequences of yesterday's choices. I was in the same place. I used to live all my life as a king in a kingdom of my comfort zone. Until this kingdom got disturbed by one thing. I discovered that I was only focusing on what I was not getting and forget about what I was not giving. So, I declared to live full and die empty. I've been always asking myself, what is the meaning of my life? And I found the answer. To make a positive difference in the souls around me by liberating their inner chained greatness to be exposed to the sunlight and transform the planet. And today, I founded Unleash to live my purpose. I interview global CEOs, entrepreneurs, and coaches all over the world to unleash their stories and experience to the whole world. Unleash is the bridge between my purpose and my mission. And my mission is unleashing the human greatness to its utmost potential. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those beautiful people who are listening and watching us right now. Today, we have a special episode with a special person, and we will touch base on many common struggles and challenges because mostly I was in the same place before and I was thinking that there was no exit at this time. And the question that came into my mind, and I think also most of us has the same question into your mind. Have you ever felt that you are stuck from being promoted inside your company or even outside your company? Have you ever felt that you have a great experience, but you don't know somehow how to use it to change your life for the better? Have you ever felt that you did your best, but you have reached somehow also to a dead point or a dead end? Nothing wants to open. Sometimes you feel this feeling. Nothing wants to open, or all the doors that you're trying to knock it out, uh, it's not working. If you have those kind of feelings, and I'm asking you if you have these kind of feelings, then I'm asking you to stay tuned and stay with us in this episode. And I'm asking you also to ask as many questions as you can, because today we have a great guest who has a great experience in this topic. May I ask you, please, to welcome with me our guest today? But before we just welcome our guest, let's give the normal applause. Welcome, Tess, to the show. Great to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be here.
The pleasure is mine, and I think that we have a great episode today. and we need to touch point and base on some of the struggles that most people, and I was also in the same place. The topic for today, which I loved, and I see that your power inside it, how to land your dream job in 90 days. But
or
before
less.
jumping, yeah, before jumping into our lovely discussion, I'm always asking this question to any of my great guests. I do believe that there is some reasons behind what you're doing today. So, can you please let us know what is your story and why you're doing what you're doing today?
Thank you, thank you. There are multiple things I do, from HR, from coaching to, training and manufacturing. Okay, beauty products and hidden products. So now that we are about jobs, I'm going to focus a lot more on the career related topics and job searching and all that. So why do I do what I do? Whatever I do has different reasons as to why I do it. However, when you look at everything put together, it comes down to two things. First is the fact that I'm trained to do what I do, and second is I get satisfaction, a lot of satisfaction when someone achieves their goal, courtesy of my support. So for me, that is mainly why I do what I do.
Great, and I think it's very inspirational. Uh, the first question that I would ask you, and I think it's common across most people because I have friends here and there. If I have a great experience and if I have great gifts, I feel that I have everything it's required. And at a certain point of time, looking for a job, I feel that I'm stuck at a certain point in my life, and I want to be promoted. I want to go somewhere. I did all my best. I applied everywhere, jobs, but it doesn't work, and I feel disappointed. What shall I do?
Okay, let's first understand that every person's situation is different because they're different markets, different profiles, and all that. However, when we're looking at it generally, it takes more than just great experience to get hired or to get promoted.
Mhm.
We as people that have the experience, let's say I have 20 years of experience, I know how great I am, but the other person may not know how great I am, especially if I want to get into another company. Now the question I'll ask you, if you're stuck, if you feel you're stuck, you're not getting hired, but you know you're really good, how are you selling yourself? Because, well, just imagine where you got into a store where there is this amazing shoe that the manufacturer knows it is amazing, but you as the person supposed to buy it, you don't see that value of it. Are you simply just going to buy it because the person is saying it's good? Or you're going to buy it because you know it's going to solve the problem? So you as a person looking for a promotion or a job, are you selling yourself well? Are you or as a solution? Many job seekers come off as job seekers, which they look as, they look like they are bigoted. No one is going to hire you because you are unemployed. When you come
Mhm.
to my company, I'm going to see what problems I have that you can solve. And if there is none that you can solve, then I'm going to tell you, sorry, we are not hiring at the moment, or you're not the fit that we're looking for. So understand, we always think we know ourselves until somebody starts to ask you certain questions. You're like, oh, I thought I knew, but you actually didn't know. So understand your strengths, the skills that you can utilize to solve problems in another company. Then learn how to sell those skills so that you come off as a solutions provider and not another job seeker.
Okay. Do you think because of your experience, if I have 20 years of experience, how I will be able to sell this experience in 30 minutes interview? Because it's not easy. I know 20 years of experience. What are the ways that I can use or techniques that I can use in order to sell my experience and my gifts, my uh, all the skills that I could have in 30 minutes? Because this is, I think, one of the struggles that most
Yeah.
people they have. They couldn't sell themselves in 30 minutes.
Okay, let me first give you this perspective. Every book that is written, it's written in a few pages, right? But they put
Mhm.
years of stories in those pages. And then you read that book and you can see the 30, 100 years in 40 pages. That is what you're going to do. Focus on the accomplishments. Many people sit down to tell us what they have done without stating the impact of what they've done. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to know what you've done and can pick on anybody to do it, but what is the impact? So when you tell me you have helped another company grow, how? In what period of time?
Mm-hmm.
That is very
Yeah.
important, because once while you're saying that, I'm just going through my company and saying, okay, is this really good for me or is it not good for me, or stuff like that. So instead of focusing on what you have done, focus on the impact of what you have done and give a time frame of that impact.
Yeah, lovely. And I think that you opened my eyes also on many things that I started to reflect on it and the experience before, because sometimes people around us and the environment around us doesn't allow us to think that these kind of achievements, it's real achievements. Some people, they feel it's normal. It's normal. No, 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 no. It's normal. You're
They pay
already
you to
paid
do
for
it.
that.
Sorry.
Yes, you're paid already for that. And this let you feel that everything that you're achieving inside or outside doesn't have any impact, which is
Yeah,
something, it's illusion. I say it's real illusion,
yeah,
because think about it like that. Impact, I like what you said, impact from all aspects inside the company, impact people life, impact the business, impact financials. You can do all of this. And part of the things that I have done, and I think this, if our audience, they can listen to us right now, that they can use this tool.
yeah.
Any achievement you are doing it on a daily basis, put it in a journal and put your story, write your story,
You can beautify
mater-
anything. I can
materialize it.
beautify staring at you.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you will see that you have great achievements. 365 days, you can write stories from the challenges that you face, from the critical thinking that we have. It's normal. You feel that it's normal. It's not normal. You
Yeah,
can write, you can develop, you can. And once you have this opportunity, let's say in an interview, what you will
yeah.
do exactly, just flip up the pages and you will remember everything and you can speak. This
Prepare
is
for the interview. Many people just wake up in the morning like, oh, I have an interview, then they rush to the interview, thinking that the other person is going to understand.
yeah.
I think I don't remember who wrote this quote. Is that the problem with communication is that we think others think like us. I don't remember who wrote that, but you realize that this is one of the mistakes candidates make. They sit right in front of an interviewer, recruiter, or whatever, and they have their own thinking in the mind, or
Mhm.
they're undermining the person that is interviewing them because they feel they have all the experience, which is not written on your face. The person is not going to understand that. You have to explain what you have done and how you're going to help the company. I have interviewed, because I have Kat Consult is in Dubai, and we do a lot
Mm.
of hiring in UAE. You find that a person, for example, comes and you're like, okay, can you just give me 10 accomplishments? You have 20 years of experience. You should have at least 10 accomplishments easily listed. And the person's like, okay, I've been committed to my work. Okay,
We are all committed.
everybody is.
What
I
is
work
unique?
under
Yes.
pressure. Okay, so you have to see. I remember there's a company I worked in it was in Sharjah many years ago, and
UAE.
my boss then said, Tess, I think you're in the wrong role. In HR, I said, why? He said, Tess, you can sell sand and the person will buy it thinking it's going to turn into sugar. Like, believing it's going to turn into sugar. Like, you have to learn how to sell. I tell candidates, the first skill, if you're looking for a job, the first skill you must master is selling.
Yeah.
Have
Because
you ever bought something? I believe in your house you have so many things you've bought and you've never used. You're like,
yeah,
why did I buy this? I remember
yeah.
there's a vacuum cleaner I bought in Dubai. It was 15,000 dirhams. Up to today, I have never
Oh,
used it. 4 years later, I've never used it. I'm like, why did I buy it?
it's a
So
skill.
it's a skill. Be in that position where the person is gonna be like, I need you, I need this candidate right now. And
Mhm.
even if their decision is going to take 45 days, they'll do everything possible to see that the decision comes sooner for you to get hired.
Yeah.
And
I
if
s-
you have consistently been rejected, you have to understand you can't do it by yourself. You cannot.
y- you touch a real point on that, because we feel that when we got rejected, when we got rejected, something will open. We have to be coached. We
Something,
have to someone can see something that we don't see,
yeah,
because
the
there
best
is
view
some
of every
challenges.
situation is when you are out of that situation. Do
Yeah.
you know that your neighbor will know that your child is a drug addict before you know? And they'll say, your child is doing this, or your partner is doing this. And you're like, no, I don't
Mm.
think so. Eventually, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know.
We
And
don't
going
see.
back to what you said previously, that the people around us take us for granted. My greatest book, which is the Bible, says that a prophet, like, okay, let me put it in the layman
Mm.
language, that like a celebrity is not a celebrity in their house.
Hmm.
So when you are in a company where they make you feel like what you're doing is no,
Normal. Mm.
listen, they're still holding you there because what you're doing is not normal. Otherwise, they
Exactly.
would have let you go. But the fact that you're
Exactly.
still there, don't be deceived into thinking, you're just like any other person. No,
You're not. This what I keep saying it. You're not. Everyone is unique on an own way, and you have to find your way. Because
exactly.
most people, they got stuck and they live all of their life in the past. Because if I got rejected one time, I will be rejected again. I'll be rejected again. Then I will be surrendered and I will accept the status quo because this is my life. No, it's not your
And
life.
also,
You
people
can
don't have
change.
faith. They don't have faith. A person's
Exactly.
like, now I tell you, me, people around me know I never settle. And I always say, unfortunately, I'm not normal. So I can't live a normal life. I remember I moved to UAE in 2011 straight from school, and everyone around me that had lived in UAE was telling me, you cannot get a job because you don't have
Mm.
experience. And at that time, getting a job of like 5,000 dirhams was something really big. And they said, you cannot. First of all, you're African. Second, you're woman. Third, you don't have experience. And they had all the reasons as to why I would be rejected. I said,
Mhm.
but I'm this kind of person where when everybody says don't do it, I'll do it. Where
Yeah.
everybody says it's dangerous, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see how dangerous it is. Then I'll do it. And then I'll succeed and they'll be like, we thought it was dangerous. So I said, listen, I'm going to look for a job, which is 5,000, and I'm starting as a manager. They all laughed at me. I was like, it's okay, you laugh. Of course, I was rejected 100 times or more than 100 times. But you know what I did is I wrote down everything I did and the result of everything I did. That's why today I can help somebody get hired in less than 90 days because I
Mhm.
journaled everything I went through.
Yeah.
So after getting a job, my first job without experience, I was an admin manager. I got promoted in 3 months to HR manager. 3 months.
Wow.
And my salary was 3 times more. So, and
Yeah.
then I was like, what? These people were saying that I cannot get a job. Now I've been promoted. I think I have something great. So that is when I started as like, I'm not going to live a normal life. It's choice. You see, like they
Yeah.
say, failure and success, it's a choice. You choose to fail. You make a
Yeah.
decision, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna give up. But if you decide that I will not give up no matter what the circumstances are, it can, it can rain all it wants. It can shine all it wants. But you make a decision. Everybody is one decision away from either success or failure. Just one
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
So,
It's
what
all
decision
about
are you
choice.
make? Are you going to make a decision to sit back and whine and cry and complain and blame the recruiters, blame the market, or you're going to go there and say, okay, I don't care whether the recruiters are ghosting me. There is that one recruiter that won't ghost me. So I'm focusing on finding that one.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
always a choice.
Yeah. It is totally a choice, and our life is shaped by our choices. Let me come back to our lovely audience. We have our friend Atif Abdel Fattah. Amazing as usual. Great to see you, Atif. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our lovely friend Diana. Greetings from Ireland. Thank you so much for tuning in, Diana. Our friend Muhammad Heikel. What a great and inspiring introduction. Thank you for tuning in. This is my coach, Faisal Khan. Great topic and start. Thank you, Faisal, for tuning in. Thanks for the kind
You
supports
can
that
see
you're
your
giving.
host here.
Yeah, he's amazing. And
Yes,
our friend, welcome. She's Diana. She's saying, welcome, Tess. Thank you
thank
for
you.
tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Our brother Patrick, hello and good evening, Ahmed and Tess.
Hi,
Thank you
Patrick.
so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our friend and sister Amna finally got to catch you here on your LinkedIn live. Thank you so much, Amna, for tuning in. And she is sending something also. I like this energy all the time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Amna.
I can share some with her.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. We have Nyarku. Nice. Thank you for tuning in. Just for the sake of the time, and let's make use of our great leader today, Tess. Please, guys, ask whatever question into your mind because we have a treasure and you can make use of Tess today by your questions, any struggle that you face, and she will be able to tell you all of her experience in our episode. So let me jump into the second question, Tess. Do you think that networking is something that we can rely on to find a job? And how you can just advise people if it's yes, how can you advise people to start with this kind of networking?
Okay, this is how, I'm a coach. We don't give yes or no answers. So this is how I'm going to answer it. Um, Statistics say that 80% of positions are filled through referrals. What does that tell you? Through
Mhm.
relationships. Networking is that important. You can have an amazing CV, amazing LinkedIn profile, and all that, but the relationships are very, very important. So, how can you network? How can you utilize your network? Build genuine relationships. Take your relationships off social media, or if somebody is in another country, invite them for digital coffee. Understand the person. For
Mm.
example, you cannot go. Let me give this example. I think most people here are adults, right? You go on a date first time and the person is telling you, oh, I want to marry you. You're going to think this person is crazy. So
Yeah.
you cannot connect with me today. Yes, I could have that position. Yes, I could know somebody who is hiring, but I don't have that trust. I don't trust you well enough to refer you to somebody else. So when candidates contact somebody, or a potential employer or recruiter, they think, oh, they're going to lose time or they want to contact as many people as possible. Remember, it is quality over quantity. You don't need 20 yeses. They always say, you don't need, you just need 1 yes. And the same person that I said you need only 1 yes is sending copy pasted messages to like 20 employers.
Yes.
You've wasted all those 20 opportunities.
Yeah.
Take time to build genuine relationships. And we can tell when a relationship is not genuine. We can tell when you're just pretending to be what you're not. Get close to people, get to know them, engage on their posts, comment and do that, build the relationship and take it off social media. And that way, that person is going to think about you. And whilst you're networking, don't forget to sell your skills. It's important. Be
Yeah.
strategic. I always tell people, for me, I don't do things the way everybody else is doing things. And many times I look weird, but at the end of the day, most of the time I'm ahead of most of the people. The road to success is wide, but there are two lanes. And I always say this: there is a lane that has a lot of traffic, that is what everybody else is doing. And there is that lane that has very little traffic, but it has lots of
Mm.
obstacles. You just have to master that art of, how am I going to run through this place? How am I going to maneuver here? How am I going to jump? Or if you see it's 4 meters high, then you have to set yourself to be able to jump 4 meters high. But if you think you're just going to go the route that everybody else is going, trust me, you're going to be frustrated.
Yeah, yeah, totally, 100%. I can understand. I can relate to all what you're saying because I had to say it's network. Your network is your net worth by
Network,
the
yes.
meaning. It's by the meaning, and what you're saying makes sense because if you come networking, it's not just pitching. It's not just coming and say hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I like your
Thank you
post.
so much.
And then
I
the next
like
day, I
yeah.
want a
Yes,
job.
can you please find for me a job? It doesn't make sense. For sure,
It
if
doesn't.
I see something like that, what is in the other side? What is in it for me? if you come for me. Build a
Exactly.
rapport. Build a rapport. We are human. Why shall
Yeah.
I help you right now?
Right.
I don't know you. Maybe you are in second connection. Maybe even you are a third connection. Maybe you are a first connection, but I don't know you.
I don't even
Don't
know
do
your
like
work.
that.
I cannot
Yeah,
guarantee your work to somebody else. So why do you think I should understand you the way you know yourself when you've not taken
exactly.
time to make me understand you?
Exactly. Because it's 100% you're coming and you want something from me. But
Which
what
is
is in the
valid.
other
This is
side?
career.
Yeah, that's why it's law of reciprocity. I like
Yes.
what you said because you just you unfold the carpet for a long way, just
Yeah.
step by step. I can say I can connect emotionally, what I can
Yeah.
add some values on your posts just as a start, and let you feel that you are human, and then take it step by step. This is the art of networking. It's not just going one way. Hi, please help me, I need
Yeah.
your help. Everyone wants help.
And let me add
Every
something quickly. Many candidates make this mistake, but you're shooting yourself in the foot. That is an opportunity gone. A person connects with you and they tell you, please, I'm desperate. I'm the breadwinner. I have to take my kids to school. The person, and I always want candidates to always think about the other person. They're going to give you a job. That job is, even if you think it's about you, it's not about you, it's about the company. Now you're telling the person that you're breadwinner, you have to take your child to school. This person has maybe 100 or 200 or 300 employees
people, yeah.
that they have to take care of. What if the person you're telling just lost, let's say, 1 billion euros? And for
Mhm.
you, you're just whining about a job. Do you really think that is an opportunity you're going to keep?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's why I say give yourself a chance to build a rapport for a long time. And as you said, it's a long term game. Just if I can build a rapport with a powerful people and start connect with them emotionally, add value to them, try to connect with them every day, feel that I let them feel that I care, but just not. Uh, as you said, I feel the authenticity from people that they are genuinely they want me they want to add values and people that they need something, even you smell it from the beginning, and there's nothing bad about that, but just be smart in your movement.
We're
Networking,
humans. We are
it's long,
humans.
for
Yes.
sure. It's a long term game. It's not just one day it will happen, but start doing that things.
Yeah.
Let me come back to our lovely audience again. Our friend Mansour, he's saying what a powerful, what a power useful topic. Thank you so much, Mansour. We have our friend Deborah. Greetings from Finland. So she's in the Helsinki, I think.
Deborah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Deborah,
Deborah.
hi. Nice to see you here.
Thank you so much.
Moi moi.
Uh, our friend Shahid, love the topic. Well done. Thank you so much, our friend. And our friend Amna, she's saying the value you brought to the organization in your past years matter, and that's the real game to
Yes.
showcase well and convey to the interviewers. Yes, thank you so much, Amna.
Yeah.
Our friend Shahid, he's saying very true. One has to prepare, put some time to study the profile about the
Mm-hmm.
company, about the market, company's value proposition, and positioning
This is
in the
really nice.
market. Totally,
Great.
100%.
Yes.
Thank you for the great value,
I did
Shahid.
that. Yeah.
Our lovely brother, Patrick, selling is a great skill
For every
for
job seeker.
every job
Yeah.
seekers. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Friend Shahid, do ask questions. You have all right to uh, uh, just I don't see query them and test them too. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So let me jump, and I will come back to our friends and our audience. Just feel free to ask whatever question that you have, guys. Again, but the question into my mind now, Tess, it's about the frequency. I see that many people that they start to look into job every day, but at a certain point of time, if something doesn't work, they
Mm.
raise the white flag and say it doesn't work.
Mm.
What is your advice, and what your advice even to start landing a job, or just having, it's like a bait, if you can catch something and land it quickly, what is the frequency that you can advise people?
Okay. See, this is what I want to say. A person has only failed when they say I quit. So you have only failed at that point. Frequency, I want to think you're asking about sending CVs or generally as job seeking. If you are sending out CVs and you are only relying on sending out CVs, you're going to need to do a lot of work. I want you to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
For every application, on average, statistics say that you receive between 118 and 250 applications per role,
Post. Mm.
where 20% only get into an interview. And it takes, let's say, 24 days for a decision. So what are the
Mm.
chances that you're going to be in the 20%? It means you have to do a lot and a lot and a lot of work,
Yeah.
which is going to
Yeah.
stress you. This is where I always tell candidates, you must have effective, this is in everything I'm saying, the word effective is very important. Effective job search strategies. Because these are the ones that open the door for you. Whether it's networking, whether it's job portals, whether it's anything else, but you have to find the effective ones. So, how much frequency looking for a job is a full-time job. Unfortunately, unpaid, but it's a full-time job. Now you have to make a decision to either give up at a certain point or never to give up until you find an answer. Now, this is what to do every 2 weeks. Look at what you have done. Look at the results. What has been effective and what has not been effective. You know, they always say, oh, consistency is key if you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But
It's
if
about
you're
the
doing the
track.
wrong thing and being consistent, my dear, you're gonna die being stressed. All right. So, are you doing the right thing? Then be consistent. Eventually, it's going to unfold. But if you're doing the wrong thing, you're wasting a lot of time. So it's a full-time job. That's what I would say. And keep that in mind. You're not going to send one application and people will be coming to you and say, yeah, I want you, and all that. And I always tell candidates, go the creative route. Get off the traditional route. You know, very many times I make posts and I put polls and I'm like, what would you do here? What would you do there? And people come up to give advice to candidates. And I look through the people that are giving advice, which is wrong, and they're candidates. And I'm like, okay. And they come on the post and you tell them, but how about if you do it this way? And they'll argue. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'll just leave you there and that's it. But the thing is, you have to understand, commitment and discipline is what is going to take you through the journey of job searching. Discipline is when you do something you don't want to do, but because you have to do it. You wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, last 2 weeks, this worked, this didn't work. If you can't do it by yourself, find an expert to help you.
Yeah, but just I tell you from experience, it's not easy because I was in the same place when you don't have network and we don't just you as you said, the consistent. I'm just applying every day, applying every day, applying every day, applying every day, but nothing works. How can we make it work based on a practical experience? How can we do it?
How can you be consistent?
Not consistent, just how can I attract or just land a job? Because as I told you that some struggles and frustration when you are consistent, it's like, you know what, when you have a Ferrari car and you just, put your gasoline at
Accelerators,
the
yeah,
end, the maximum, without any GPS, so you
yeah.
will find you will not
Yeah.
reach to your destination. So how can we adjust this GPS or our location to the right way?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like when you're doing whatever you're doing as a job seeker, whether you have a coach or not, every 2 weeks, sit down and evaluate what you have done.
Mhm.
What have I done? How effective was it? But people just simply apply and apply and apply. After 6 months, they're like, these things are not working. Okay, what are you doing? I've done this and this. And you realize they're saying that they've tried everything, but actually they've tried two things. But they've just done those two things in different ways. So evaluate what you're doing every time. Let it be in every relationship, even not just your job. Whenever you don't sit down to ponder on what you've done to see the effectiveness or wasting time, you will waste a lot of time. So, how many times do you sit down to say, this is what I did this week and these are the results? I think this is not going to work. Let me change and let me tweak it here. Let me do it this way. And then next 2 weeks, you sit down and you have to be disciplined and you have to commit to it. That is the only way you're going to be successful. So, whether it's networking, if you have been sending out messages to people and they're ignoring you, there is something wrong with your messages. Then you have to tweak your messages.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Thank you, Tess, for this. That just the question that also came into my mind here. Uh, what if I reached to a point that I had, let's say, an offer or just a good offer for a company? What are the major things or what are the major factors that I should look into it from the other side of the company? Because I know when you have sometimes I know people when they get frustrated from their company because they don't see any career path, they look into the positive things on the other side and they look into the negative things in their company, and this definitely affect for sure their decisions, and to sometimes even they regret because it was not the right move. What are the factors that they should take into consideration when they have such these movements from a company to a company?
You know, I'm smiling because I'm going to go back to what I said. I won't give you a direct answer, unfortunately.
Not at all, just feel
You
free
know,
from your
this is the
experience.
thing. Everything looks good from the outside. I'll give an example. When you go, when you go to buy a second-hand car,
Uh-huh.
it is really nice, and you look at it, and then 2 months later, oh my God, it was the worst decision I made. Okay, we've seen shoes where you buy a pair of shoes, and only 1 month later, you're like, what happened? Okay. So everything, when they say, "Oh, the grass is greener on the other side," it's because first of all,
Mhm.
someone is watering it, and two, could be fake because plastic grass looks really, 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 really good. Now, coming back to a person that wants to move, one of the mistakes I've realized with candidates that have moved and have made a mistake, their decisions are not revelational. Their decisions are
Mm.
emotional.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
my boss has annoyed me. How can he talk to me like this? It's emotional. That's ignorance speaking. Now you get a wake-up call when you get to the other side and things are totally different. You're like, okay, I would rather be with the boss who is rude because you didn't see the end of you
Mhm.
moving out. Many people don't see the end of whatever they're doing. So they just wake up in the morning, they're upset with their boss, they're not getting promotions, but probably your boss doesn't see your value the way you want them to see it. Have you helped them? So the questions you're going to ask yourself is one, is this move revelational or is it emotional?
Mhm.
That will clarify lots and lots of things. If it's emotional, sit yourself down.
Mhm.
It is the wrong time to move because your emotions are going to change anytime soon. But if it's revelational, it means it's your purpose, it's your calling. This is where you have to be. And there are things you can't explain, but you're like,
From
I know
inside, yeah.
So you will know that this is the right time for me to move. I cannot grow any further. Even in the company, probably the position I have is the highest position that they can promote me into. They don't have, you know, they don't have anything else other than if I push hard, I would be out of the building. So let me just go to another company and then understand what are you looking for in the other company that is not here. Is it the work environment? Because probably there
Mhm.
is a lot of politics where you are. We know that happens, and you're like, this
Definitely.
this one I don't want, or the work environment is the worst. Then you have to move. But again, if you're looking for a company to move to, have you done enough research to make sure that is the company where you're going, or just because they have a good offer? It's
Mhm.
just like I always tell candidates this, that you're running from one company because they're being given a good offer. Just that it's like stealing from one pocket, your pocket, and putting in another one.
Yes.
You're eventually gonna be like, okay, I think I made a mistake because you didn't put many things into consideration. So, are you growing? These are the questions you should ask yourself. Am I growing? To what level? Okay, in the next 2 to 3 years, where do I see myself in that new company? Or will I end in the same position where I am here today? And you know what I've noticed is once you realize that your move is revelation, you have all the answers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if it's
100.
emotional, that is when you're going to be like, okay, I'm just upset with my boss. Okay, you know.
Yes,
So it's just ignorance. You're still just a bit immature, regardless of how old you are. If
exactly.
you're moving because of emotions, there is a lot of immaturity in you. That first
E-
deal with that. Because I always tell people, success, growth will not come to you because of what you're doing. It will come to you because of the person you're becoming.
exactly. Yeah.
So if you're still, if there is a lot of immaturity in you, even where you're going, you will not grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate this because I see many of my friends that they took such an emotional decision because they think that they will take a revenge from their own company. And it doesn't work because the company will never stop. And this is what the people always saying that guys, it will never, you will hit yourself in the wall. That's why before just taking a decision, just a live decision, it's not just something easy, it's a live decision. Don't
Yes.
be connected emotionally or take a decision based on your emotions or based on situations that happened inside your company or based on something that you say you think that you
Someone
will be able to
disrespected
take.
you.
Yes, and the company, I'll take a revenge because they think that they will not stop. No, they will stop, but it will not work like this. That's why emotional decision somehow it put us in a closed corner. And some people, I see them, that's why I reflect with you, I see them that they regret. If they come back, they have a sad time, and if they come back, they will
Yeah.
stay in the same company and find another opportunity
Mm.
because they were driven emotionally. They were
Yeah.
driven by the problem, not just
Mhm.
finding a solution about their
Yeah.
life. Yeah. Let me jump into the next question, which is, I know your statement, which is you help people to land their dream job in 90 days. Can you
Or
please tell
less.
us, yeah, or less, which is something that we need our audience to understand it. What
Yeah.
I don't need to go into details, but
Yeah.
if you can give us like what is the system that you're using it, just the process that you're using it to let people land their dream job, because it's something very interesting.
I'll just give just a few, you know, tips here and there. What we do, first of all, me and my team are very distinctive. So every profile is handled distinctively. We don't have a one size fits all solution to any problem because, well, even on the same market, people of different positions,
Mhm,
different things are required. But what I can say is we, first of all, opt for the creative route. We don't go the traditional way.
mhm,
So we're always giving new ideas, different ways of looking at the same thing. And the other thing is what we do first before we do anything for anybody. We put them on a discovery journey, self-discovery journey.
mhm.
More like self-inventory. What do you have? I'll tell you, what I've realized is candidates understand the market so well, but they don't understand themselves. You understand another person's problem but yours. How are you going to be able to, you get my
Mhm,
point. So if you don't understand yourself so well, you're not going to be able to sell yourself well. So that is what we do. And then, we have exercises that we take people through and for them to understand themselves. And then we start, of course, we work on the CV, the LinkedIn profile, the personal branding, for you to be able to get to attract. We work more on
mhm.
attracting opportunities. Why? It's just like it's just like a man who wants a woman. You run after a woman, she runs after another man, right? So it's
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 pull game. It's
yeah.
pull
So
game, not push.
but once you sit down there and you attract, it's like a magnet, you attract many. And once they all come, then you're like, I think this is what I want. I don't want that. I don't want the other.
Mhm,
Many of my candidates will tell you they get over 5 interviews and they're like, okay, now which one I go in? Then they get like 3 offers. So they have a
mhm,
problem. So my candidates have one problem.
mhm.
They get too many offers and they don't know which one to take. So so that is what we do. And people that have worked with me will tell you we give all the support the candidate needs. Actually, I think we give more than this, more than what they need, because we make sure that you get a job before 90 days. By the time the
Mhm.
person does that, regardless of how long they've been unemployed, then you know we put a lot of effort in what we do.
Wow, wow. It's amazing process. I
Yeah.
know it's not easy. It's not easy. But if allow me, if I ask you, what are the markets that your company is covering? Is it covering all over the world or just specific regions?
We cover all over the world, however, different profiles. We don't handle all profiles. For us, it's not just about having another number on the list of people we have signed up. It's
Mm.
about making sure that can we really help this person get the
Help
job.
them, yeah.
So because we look at the what, the where, and the how, this is very important for every
Mm.
candidate. So if we see that your what, where, and how is not what we are willing to go on for, then we will refer you to somebody else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tess. Again, the last question. I know the time is flying as usual. What is the best forums and the best channels for people that they can connect easily with you?
Here. I'm kidding.
So LinkedIn is one.
LinkedIn, Facebook. On By the way, on my LinkedIn profile, there is a WhatsApp number. Somebody can reach out. Why did I say that? I'm kidding. I can handle anything. So there's a WhatsApp number on my about section on LinkedIn. But on
Mm.
Facebook, you can get me. On LinkedIn, you can get me. Those are the platforms that I use mainly. And we have info at katconsult.com. So still in my about section, that email is there. So it's either me or my team, but whoever it is that is going to respond to you, the answers are the same. Some people say, "No, I only want Tess. I only want Tess."
Yeah, I can understand. The last thing that I will ask you, Tess, you mentioned that you are working with specific profiles, right?
Yeah.
So just to let it be clear for everyone who are listening to us right now, what are the profiles that you are working with, so that if there is any possibility that they can reach you?
No, they can reach me. We
Mm.
are open to all profiles. What I mean by some profiles, no. So we look at we look at different factors. Let me put it that way. I don't want to come off
Okay,
as native. So we look at certain factors that may delay the person to get the job in 90 days. But the person is saying, no, I
okay.
want the job in 90 days. Somebody has not been working for 5 years. They don't have a degree. And then they want to be CEO.
Yes,
And I'm like,
that makes
okay.
sense.
So you understand.
Mm.
So we look at many factors before we say, no, we can't work with you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tess. Again, it's a pleasure having you in the show. The energy that we received, and I believe also our audience that they can feel this, it's really contagious. Your positive
Thank you.
energy and your inspirational thoughts and the way that you help people is really contagious. So keep doing what you're doing. And I'm so blessed also to have you in the show today. And I'm sure that very soon we will have something very unique together, inshallah. Thank you for having you on the show. And thanks for our audience today.
Thank you so much to everyone who is watching, who has watched this, and everyone who will watch later. And
Thank
thank
you.
you, Ahmed, for
Thank,
inviting me.
thank you,
Bye.
Tess. Have a great day. Bye bye.